figured I'd try to get on camera myself other than you just hearing my voice. But today we got a piece of big old cherry here. We're looking at 14 inches this way, 13 inches this way. The bark doesn't look the best to me. It's just got like a, it's been sitting out a lot, and it looks got like more of a more dirty look to it. It doesn't, to me, want to stand out to make a live edge, but we'll see. I'll try to clean it up a little bit the best we can. We got a couple small splits here on the upper portion of the sapwood, but it's really not a lot, so we will lay it out. I'm going to try to get at least a 12 and maybe a 13-inch bowl, but most likely a 12-inch bowl. And right now this is an 11.5-inch circle, so as long as I can find my center, I'll be good. And I'll have to make one for a 12-inch later. But I think we'll be, it might make a beautiful, beautiful little live edge. Let's see what the depth is. The depth is about 4 inches. So that'll look pretty good. Alright, well, I'll figure it out and I'll bring you back once we get it cut up and ready to roll. I used a Forstner bit on the drill press after I cut it down to clean up a little spot there for our spur drive here. Now we're going to set her up and get ready to start turning her down. Now all I'm doing is I'm just adjusting it to get nice and even tops here. Alright, we'll be able to make some more adjustments as we go, but this is basic where we're going to be at for now. And I'm cutting from my left to right so we can keep the bark for now. And that's what I'm going for just for now. We'll see what happens. Go. About 8:30 right now. I'm going to go sharpen the gouges, bring you back when we start turning. Okay, we're sanded to 400 right now. I'm going to use denatured alcohol to clean it off this time. Regular water pop is wonderful, but it takes a lot longer for it to dry. So this is what we're looking at. And when I started off the bowl, it was 16% moisture content. So it wasn't too awful bad. 16 is about average here. Oh, my pizza guy's here, so I'm going to have to pause anyway, and we'll be back. Okay, we went and resanded after the denatured alcohol. I'm going to go with Howard's Feed and Wax for this one. So let's see what we can do. I think it's going to look really good with it. So we'll put this on, finish up this last little bit on the bottom, and then we will flip it over and start on the inside. So I'll put a base coat of this stuff on right now, and then I'll get the brush in there and work on getting any spots that I missed that I can't get with the rag. Like right here on the foot area, any creases. But this is looking pretty good, especially with the edge of the bark. Oh yeah. And it's a pretty good size. Like I said, I think I kept it at about the 12-inch mark, but we'll know more once I flip it over. I'll be able to double check it a little bit more. Oh yeah. Now we got to get around the edge, and probably like we'll say a ½ inch into the up on the bark as well. And I'm going to need to get some more feeding wax too. It's getting a little low, because you want to make sure that you get way down into whatever you can. Down into the creeks and crevices down here. And it is looking a lot better than I was expecting it to, so I'm happy with it. Definitely happy with it. And this will dry up, and I won't buff it out until after we flip it over and get the inside done. So this will be this will sit down on here for a bit, dry up really good. So when it buffs out, excuse me, so when it buffs out, it will nice and thick and shiny. And you'll feel it nice and soft too. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry up a little bit, and then I'm going to try to eat away some of this by the tenon before I flip it over. So we shall return. Let's see, let's go ahead and get to, look at that. And that's with it not even like buffed out. Alright, we've got her flipped around. I'm going to work with my ½ inch bowl gouge for now, and then I might go down to the 3/8 afterwards. But we're going to start with a ½ inch. Let's see what we can get it up to. 900 so far. 946. Crap, that split right here, it's coming right through here, so I have to watch it. Turn the air filtration system on. I may turn this dust collector on too. Okay, so what we have now is we're pretty flat all the way down and around. The crack that was over here, it's at a point now to where I need to go ahead and refill it. So I sprayed it with a little bit of polyurethane to prevent it from staining. I want to do some black CA Starbond, and then coffee grounds, Starbond coffee grounds until it fills up, because it's about 1/8 of an inch wide. It's got some depth to it, so we're gonna knock that out and I'll bring you back. Okay, we've got it all lined out. We have the crack here filled, and we're just ready for sanding. I had to do a little bit of repair with some of the bark that did fly off in certain sections, so that was also repaired. Like this piece here, I had to add it in. This piece here had to be added in. So actually no, just this piece here and this piece next to it, both of these, and I believe that's it. And again, that's all close to where this crack is, so it's a weak part of the wood. But I'm going to go ahead and do the sanding again, same way, up to 400, and then we'll hit it with the feed and wax and go from there. So I want to go ahead and sand and turn you off for that. Alright everybody, we have been sanded to 320. I'm going to hit it with some denatured alcohol and then we'll hit 400. I'm not happy with the sanding on this one. It just feels like it's not wanting to cut right and sand right, but we will make it work. We'll see what happens in the end, but this is what we got right now with the denatured alcohol. Okay, we are back to 400 grit, and we're going to hit it with the feed and wax on the inside. It's still going to look alright. Like I said, I'm just not happy. It feels like it just did not want to sand right on this end grain. It didn't want to cut right on the end grain. Just something with this bowl was a little off. But I think I'm pleasantly surprised with how it turned out. So we're going to let it dry up. We're going to get this stuff on, the feed and wax on. We're going to let it dry up and then buff it out, and we should have some nice good shine and soft feel. There we go. I'm going to hit this outside again, even though I've already buffed it out once. And then I'll hit the bark up again. There we go. Yeah, it is better than I was expecting it going to be. All in all, so I am happy with it. It's just been a rough couple months, I'm telling you. This is the only one of the only things that keeps me going, is coming out and doing this and spending time with my family. That's what keeps me going with it. Hit this bark up again. And we'll let it dry and try to buff it out the best we can. Down in all the creeks and crevices. And we should be good. Alright. Edge. Globs that may have came off. Some of the bits and pieces of small bark from brushing got on the inside. Try to sweep some of that out. Alright, we'll let it dry up and buff it out and I'll bring you back. Yeah, it does look good in the video. It looks a lot better in the video. Okay, it's been 5 days since I've been able to touch this after I put the wood wax on, so let's buff it out and see what happens. Oh, wonderful. We had a leak too, so that ruins the majority of it. Okay, we'll fix it. Let's tighten up that tenon a little bit. But even with the even with that basic part, you can see that shine is definitely in there. There we go. Just moving it around to a cleaner portion. Oh yeah, that's a good basic shine. Natural. Right. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Alright, now we just got to fix this little issue that we ran into with one of these cracks. We filled it with some CA, but I guess the outer portion didn't want to be filled all the way. So we had some CA just running down the side of it. So I'm going to figure out if I can fix that when I work on removing the tenon. So bring you back later when it's all done. Okay, we're back again. We had a pretty big boo-boo when I was removing the tenon. The little knob was probably about a ½ inch tall. It broke off while I was trying to get it down, and it cut up the whole outside of this. But as you can see, we fixed it. I'll probably put in a picture about it right before this part here. So. But now we got the tenon off. We still have this little nib here, little nub, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Alright, I only sanded the little spot here to 240, just smooth enough to put my signature. Alright, now all we gotta do is wipe her down, let the ink dry, and then hit it with a little bit of a finish on that last little bottom part. So we'll get that done, get some pictures, and get the video going.